The story of St. Charles, Maryland is one of smart beginnings, thoughtful development, steady growth, and great potential. Since its founding in 1965, St. Charles has been one of America's premier master-planned communities. Almost 50 years later, its 45,000 residents enjoy excellent shopping, quality schools, and lifestyle amenities that prompted CNN Money magazine to recognize St. Charles as one of the best places to live in America. Today, with 4,000 acres yet to be developed, only 60% of the St. Charles vision has been fulfilled. For residents, investors, and home builders, the best chapters of the St. Charles story are yet to be written. St. Charles, along with Columbia, Maryland, and Reston, Virginia, was one of 3 new communities born just outside the Washington, D.C. Beltway in the 1960s. Central to making St. Charles one of America's premier master-planned communities is Docket 90, a landmark 1972 zoning indenture with Charles County, Maryland. Through Docket 90, the developer of St. Charles secured binding entitlements to build nearly 25,000 housing units and more than 8 million square feet of commercial property in a mixed-use planned community spanning more than 9,000 acres and allowing its founder, James Wilson, to oversee decades of steady, measured growth. In 2009, St. Charles' inventory of undeveloped residential and commercial land was purchased by Washington-based Federal Capital Partners, turning the page to an exciting new chapter of growth and prosperity. As a suburb of the nation's capital, St. Charles, Maryland is master planned to offer outstanding community amenities at prices affordable to a broad segment of Washington area residents. Each of St. Charles' 5 villages are composed of individual neighborhoods, enjoying not less than 20% of shared open space. Green spaces and forested lands are carefully managed, and a strong sense of stewardship ensures the tree canopy will be protected for generations to come. Residents enjoy a wide variety of retail, restaurant, and recreational opportunities that make St. Charles a thriving mixed-use community. There's easy access to neighborhood centers, swimming pools, tennis courts, playgrounds, public parks, athletic fields, an 18-hole golf course, a skateboard park, dozens of miles of interconnected hiking and biking trails, and the home field stadium of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, the local minor league baseball team. Good schools are the cornerstone of good communities, and under Docket 90, land has been donated for 10 neighborhood schools, including the new state-of-the-art St. Charles High School. After nearly 50 years, St. Charles retains an intimate but sophisticated suburban feel while offering attractively priced housing close to major employment centers. In 2013, FCP engaged Washington-based RCL Co., one of the nation's premier advisors to master plan developers, for advice on how to maximize St. Charles' vast potential. St. Charles enjoys unique advantages compared to its regional competitors. In the D.C. metropolitan market, the supply of developable land with entitlement rights, infrastructure, and builder-ready lots is decreasing. In contrast, with more than 4,000 acres fully entitled for 10,000 housing units and 5 million square feet of commercial space, St. Charles is extremely well positioned for decades of strong, predictable growth. St. Charles' other competitive advantages include its extensive in-place forward infrastructure, including major roads, water, sewer, and other utilities, an extensive arterial road network, which conveniently links residents and businesses to major traffic corridors like U.S. Route 301 and Maryland Route 5, its proximity to large, stable employment centers, existing retail outlets and restaurants, access to D.C.'s metro system, just 15 miles away, and its central location in the development district of Charles County, one of the fastest-growing counties in Maryland and the 15th wealthiest county in America. RCL Co. recommended a comprehensive strategy to increase lot sales 50% to the 320 per year level achieved from 1970 through 1992. To accomplish this goal, RCL Co. advised St. Charles to diversify its product offerings and price points to appeal to a broader portion of existing and emerging markets, to implement a comprehensive community signage, streetscapes, and common area landscaping program to enhance the sense of place at St. Charles, to revise and expand its marketing and branding, and to accelerate plans for a new 75-acre mixed-use grocery-anchored town center to further enhance the convenience and lifestyle residents have long enjoyed. St. Charles is working with home builders to broaden its primary products, entry-level and mid-market fee-simple homes and townhomes, and rental apartments. St. Charles is also planning a wider array of homes that appeal to these existing and emerging markets and capitalizes on the Mid-Atlantic's changing demographics by offering 2 additional products: active adult communities and executive enclaves. In Charles County, there exists a growing demand for move-up housing and housing for active adults. St. Charles is ideally suited for this emerging demographic who want to remain close to family, friends, and quality medical care while having easy access to nature, culture, and education. St. Charles is also planning an additional 700 acres of industrial and commercial uses, representing more than 5 million square feet of additional commercial development. An unprecedented era of achievement is dawning for St. Charles, Maryland. Federal Capital Partners and St. Charles are preparing to launch a strategic plan that will showcase St. Charles' potential, increase delivery volume, diversify product mix, and meet untapped demand. We invite you to learn more about how you can be part of the greatest chapter in the St. Charles story.